We're joined by the big man, Mr. Pat Barrett himself. How was your Christmas? How was your New Year?
It was very good, thank you. We don't celebrate Christmas, but New Year is always something. It's a new start, it's a new year, it's a new beginning.
So today's session, what was it about? Because I saw that you pulled the boxes into your office one by one to give them some instructions. So what was that about?
No, it's just a form of defence. Everyone's got different styles, and we're all working on themselves, their own strength, their own weaknesses. There's a lot of weaknesses really, especially with the two new additions, Garth Ward and George Colleen. They're still it's kind of like starting again. And as I was telling them, defence is before offence. Basically, you got to think before you act. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. A feint is a defence. Just learn them to do the basic things that can make them look good. But the basic journeyman, it expects you to come out when you've sold a lot of tickets and trying to knock them out. But if you do the opposite and you come out and you're playing with them and you're a bit tricky, you're not your normal kind of prospect that's just coming out there trying to knock them out. It allows them to think, it makes them go into a shell even more. In boxing, a lot of people only train the body. And this is like, with these young fighters, it's kind of like trying to teach them how they've got to think, and sometimes they don't understand it, sometimes they don't get it, and it's my job as a trainer to try and make them understand it and react to it. As you see the way Niles today and Adams, some of the ones that I've worked with us more longer, you can see it, what they're doing. And it wasn't really about sparring today, because it was about seeing what they can make the other person do. And considering they're all being trained by the same trainer, it's very hard. But when we have outside sparring and you see it in fights, then you see it all come out. But at least as long as they're constantly thinking in that ring, and I can realise that it's not switched off. This is why we did it for must be about an hour, non-stop in the ring, keep going round, a minute, because that also gives you the chance to have a minute with somebody else who's, you're going to change your thought period, because
different style.
Like Niall's going to be different from George, and George is going to be different from Lewis. Do you know what I mean? So each and every one of them have got different ways of thinking, so it kind of just breaks the thought process up.
Yes. We're only about 7 weeks away from the first Black Flag show of 2023. How is the preparation going for that?
Preparation's always the same. This is how I prepare. I mean, a lot of people like to do that hard work, like the Rocky. I mean, look, we have Nick that comes in, and he does the strength conditioning, and that's when we do the circuits on a Tuesday and Thursday. Then they'll work hard with no boxing, and then 3 days a week they'll sparring, they're doing this, and I mean, so we're mixing it up. So preparation's always going to be good. Can
the fans and our audience expect something different from the show entirely, not just the boxing in terms of just the Black Flag show that's come around?
I wouldn't want to, look, I always do my very utmost best to try and bring and try and create and try and make good shows, and my job is about the fighters and making sure that, because if it's not this year, some point late next year, you've got certain fighters that would have had about 15 fights looking for like a title, do you know what I mean? Because the one thing they're going to guarantee, and I'm going to get them, is the 5 fights for the year. Do you know what I mean? They don't need more than that. I was doing 10 shows, 12 shows, 13 shows. I've just basically cut it right down and just concentrating on where I'm from, what I do. Manchester's where I'm from the city of Manchester. I love it, well respected here, so I'm keeping everything in my own town, not going nowhere else now. I'm focusing on the gym and the lads that I've got and the lads that I've got to come through the gym, including the likes of George and Niall and Adam and Gav. I enjoy what I do basically. It's a challenge to me.
Nice one. Thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you.
That's the Black Flag Boxing Channel.
Nice.